My journey as an entrepreneur has started 30 years ago, which is a very long period of time, when we started Celine with 15 women in a small village called Vanduragala, where I was born and bred. It was with a commitment that I should be doing something different with my life. Because in 1977, when the economy opened, the handloom industry collapsed. And there were huge number of women in the villages who were weavers, having all this skill, and the machines were just decaying. And I thought, what a shame, I can do something about it, right? And it was in my village I found about 15 women and we started weaving, and I really didn't know what to do with it. Then I was selected for this program in the Netherlands to do a market survey in Netherlands and Germany, and I hardly had any business experience. But that exposure gave me a lot of insight into how a business should run, how I should pitch my product. And I started making toys out of the fabric. And this was the turning point of Celine, where I learned about safety standards and how the toy market behaved and how the textile market behaved. And with all this knowledge coming and all these people, particularly the CBI of Netherlands, then the USAID office in Sri Lanka, especially the TIPS project, they really backed me up. And if also the Export Development Board, and if the Export Development Board and the government didn't invest in me as a person, in Celine, actually Celine wouldn't have been a reality by now. And being a mother, being a professional, and being a businesswoman was really not easy in this Asian context, where the woman is, the men demand the woman to carry the biggest burden in a household, and I felt very responsible for my children, for the household, and for the people who worked for me. And we started this toy factory in 1994 in the garage of the house where we lived, and with one sewing machine, with one girl who's still working with me, Subhadra, and we really, I bought the adjoining property, and then it was always upward climb. And I was determined, and I thought I will end one day, not end, I will one day win the presidential award for the biggest handloom exporter in the country, and then I will rest, right? So it took me 16 years because they didn't have the presidential award scheme. 16 years to get the presidential award, which I'm still proud of. Consistently, we got it for 3-4 years, and I'm really proud that we have built a brand in Sri Lanka, a domestic brand for the handlooms in a very difficult market condition, and we are one of the leading exporters, and also we are the first and the only fair trade guaranteed company in Sri Lanka who are doing textiles. So we base our values on the business values on doing good. And we very much believe and advocate for this concept of being fair in what we do. We started the school with the vision that we should afford English education for the medium level of people in Kurunegala, because there was no such opportunity. So we gambled with our daughter Selina being the first student and enrolled her in the school, and actually we didn't even think that we were taking a risk with her life. So we started the school in a very small house in Kurunegala, And today it has grown into a school where we have nearly 3,000 students and 350 odd staff, and the big school complex which you will see on the Kandy Road, which stands in Kandy Road, was built by me under my leadership, and I have committed my life and myself to do the best for what I do with the sincere feeling and the sincere vision of doing good to the people. Being a female entrepreneur in this country, and particularly in a province which is still not that developed, is really a challenge. And people view you in a different light, where you are not a typical woman, and being in this situation needs a lot of courage and strength. This challenge has really made me to have do a very big sacrifice in terms of my personal life. And the second challenge is, the biggest challenge is the human resources. When you are in provinces, it's very difficult to find professionals, because a lot of people have migrated to the cities, the big cities, and that is another challenge which I have faced in my life. And also the biggest challenge is to balance your family life and your business life, being an entrepreneur, and then also for me personally being a professional, and to strike that balance has been very challenging. I have been on the legal panel of the DFCC Bank for over 20 years now, and DFCC has been actually my home, sort of. And when we were wanting to expand the business, DFCC supported us with the finances and whatever loan schemes. And the best part of it is I didn't have to go through much paperwork and strenuous regulations and all the procedures, because they already knew me. And they have been supporting me throughout. And when we were trying to build this new complex, they really even didn't hesitate to give me a huge, massive loan, and trusted me in repaying the loan. Being an entrepreneur, a woman, it's not easy. It's the choice you make, and it's a very difficult choice. But if you are really passionate about what you do, don't think of the profits. The money will come. Be good at what you do. Commit yourself for what you do, and commit yourself for the benefit of your beneficiaries. Then you can win, but don't look back. The journey is difficult, but you will get there. Work on it, don't think of the results.